Hello, everyone, and welcome into this very quick episode with the world famous.
Hello, everybody.
That's the world famous Mary Adams right there. Look how
Mama Mary.
look how calm I can be.
Yeah.
I'm pretending. So, what's going on today? This is a casual conversation with you.
Okay.
No major production.
Are we going to have a serious conversation, or is it
Let's
going to
hope not. Let's hope
or is
not.
it going to be a little crazy?
It might be a little crazy.
Yeah, that's okay.
Shake my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Love you very much.
Love you too.
Great team, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Very proud of you today.
We're having a good day today.
Very proud of you today.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say why, but I'm extremely proud of you today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just happy that you're my mom, and I want to thank you for being my best friend.
Oh, thank you.
So thanks.
We're having a good time today. We're
We are.
enjoying life, and we're moving on, and that's what it takes.
It does. And she gave me some really great reminders today of what's important in life and some things to focus on. And also, she has always been my most major supporter of my resale business in every decision that I made from a very young age on. And that's why I wanted her to come on and show some of her favorite pieces from maybe gifts that I had given her and a few things that she bought for me over the years. And I wanted to talk about, if you don't mind, Mom, let's start with these. Red and Glenn's collection. We'll start with that.
Okay.
And then whatever stories you want to share is fine. And I'll just kind of tell you guys not to interrupt her because I'd like her to speak today because I usually overtalk everyone. I would like you to kind of maybe give us an insight, but I'll let you guys know these are all gemstone and gold on this side. This is a beautiful cameo that I think did I give you that?
Yes, you did.
Gave that as a gift.
Yes.
I gave this as a retirement gift, and she retired 12 times.
Well, and every time I retired, I was waiting for a gift.
So
That's
so
really
she
bad.
retired 12 times, so she got 12 really great gifts. And then I joked with her and said, "Are you going to retire anymore? Because I don't have anything else to give you." Pearl set, and then a moissanite in gold. So I don't want to interrupt her while she's speaking, but let me take these up to them really quick, and then that way I'll give you guys the quick rundown. This is 14 karat gold opal. This is 14 karat gold aquamarine and diamond. This is 14 karat gold green tourmaline and diamond. And yes, her and I have matching rings of this. We do. We have the same ring. This is a beautiful opal and gold pendant, gold-filled shell cameo, Trifari set from the 1950s. Very unusual. Scandinavian enamel, seed pearls, and then, like I said, moissanite in 14 karat gold. And it's a magnificent, large, early moissanite in 14 karat. Now, take it away, Sam.
Okay. Well, he's going to show you. This was a collection that he was very interested in buying. He was already just out of college, and it was one of the first times he was going to do an estate sale. And this was a lovely couple, and the one partner had passed away, and the other one was starting to liquidate because he was getting older and wanted to go into assisted living anyway. I don't know if I can say the first two names.
You can say Red and Glen. It's okay.
They're Red and Glen, and this was one of the rings that we bought. Jason contacted me, and I'll never forget. It was like really funny. He was already out of college, and I was working, and I was working a lot in healthcare. So the money was coming in really nicely, and the tuition was paid. So he called me one day, and he said, "Mom, I wondered if you'd be interested in helping me buy an estate." And I said, "What do you need?" Well, he said, "Be $1,000, but you will be getting your money back plus jewelry." Well, that was an interest just to get him forward. Anyway, he bought the part of it for $1,000, and we ended up with some really beautiful jewelry. He made money. I made my $1,000 plus back plus jewelry. So he's showing you some of the pieces, and this kind of like propelled them into buying, because when you get out of school, all of a sudden, you know, you've got rent to pay, you've got health care to pay, you've got your car insurance to pay, and it all starts to be on you. So this gave him the push to go forward. I knew he had the artistic mind then, so it was like, push forward, Jason, keep going. And his father said one thing: you will not be in Western jewelry anymore, like the Native American, which he started out with when he was like 14, 15. He said, you're going to start going into diamonds and gems. And Jason goes, oh, no way, I'm not doing that. Well, guess where he is right now?
Diamonds and gems. Yep. And international trade. And she knows as well, like, where I started off, I would have never imagined going to some of the flea markets and the Richmond Heights, the yard sale that would bring
Well, we
in,
would
you
go
know,
to the mall when they had antique sales, and we met some really wonderful people. We go
They
to the
were very
local
kind to
malls,
me.
and he'd learn a lot from them because they took him under the wings and would teach him. But he learned from the age of 15. He met a wonderful lady in a consignment shop. He went there every weekend because he wasn't driving. I'd drop him off, and 2 hours later I'd pick him up. And he learned an immense amount from a really good mentor that also did estate sales. So it got him really interested in the craft and the art. He wanted something different, but I told him he had to go to, he still had to go to college.
Yep.
There was a little fight about that, but he ended up going.
Me fight? What?
He ended up
Are
going.
you sure you don't have me confused with Matt?
He ended up going, and he did love it, and he excelled in it.
I did.
And the program was it's very critical. There's critical thinking in it. There's decisions making. And when you hit that part and you're 5 years in and you're doing your senior show, boy, that show better be good or they will not pass
Yeah,
you.
if it wasn't.
They won't pass you.
No, you wouldn't be able to
You know.
pass. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I think the thing about, I'll just say Lee, I think the thing about Lee that I was most amazed by is her ability to not only be an antique dealer and a reseller, but also an artist and living with both sensitivities because there is a big crossover there.
It's a different world.
There is a different world.
The business world of antiques and estates is completely different than the artistic world, but they can combine them. You can combine them. She was very artistic. I do have oil paintings of hers and watercolors in my house. They'll never go anywhere else. They'll go to Jason. She was one of a kind.
Yeah, she really was.
She was really special. And and he was
a mentor, a muse,
mentor,
a best friend, a listener. She was a listener. She was, her eyes were unlike any I've seen on this earth. Icy blue, jet black hair, pale skin, naturally beautiful. She had the most elegant of hands. She just had this. She was just amazing. So that Madonna is exceptional. I didn't remember that. So thank you for letting me show that.
Yeah.
And thanks for covering some of the early things that I've done.
That's what's the most important.
that.
It pushed you along.
Yeah, agreed. And I guess that's what I've said is like, but I've built this and I've worked at it tirelessly year after year after year. But that's what I was going to be the best at. So this is Trifari, and this is all poured glass, poured and molded glass, technically. And look at those little articulating rhinestones there for some of the most sensitive detail on a Trifari set. Very unusual to find the bracelet, brooch, and the necklace. And I gave this to you when you retired from the hospital.
Yep.
Yeah, this is when you retired from the hospital. My mom's a registered nurse, and I've often said this, once a nurse, always a nurse. I think that's where I do get my emotional love of people. I really do. I think that's where I get some of that from. And then I get my feistiness and my spiciness from Dad. Defend the ones you love, and don't let anyone bother you. So check this out. These enamels are beautiful. I know you have a lot more of these, but she picked out the red ones because she loves them. And this seed pearl set, did I give you this?
You gave me that.
I don't remember it.
You bought it.
I bought it from April.
Yeah, you bought it April. In an antique show.
Yep, I did.
Dad and I came down to see. We would go to the shows and help him when he set up.
Yeah, they would help set up.
And
Dad would sit with me at the end, and he would eat cookies.
Oh gosh,
that's what he would do. He would sit with me for the whole time, and he loved it. He never complained. He never complained. And he was my, as you were, he was my biggest advocate in this. And I think why is my dad kind of never. I'll say this, my dad never viewed me as the underdog. Even when someone would view me as the underdog, my dad was like, my son is not the underdog. You've got that wrong. He's going to fight, and he's going to make himself something great.
I don't know where that,
I don't remember this, but
you gave that to me as a gift.
This is on gold, and it's all seed pearls woven on gold. One of the most elegant forms, and I love the 3 stations holding that together, almost like the Victorian wedding jewelry with the horsehair and seed pearls that I love, but more robust and more today, more contemporary.
Jason
Look at the luster.
I'm like a pearl lover.
She is. She is.
It's
that's
pretty,
where
it's pretty bad.
That's where, but no, it's actually really good because that's where I got my love of pearls. Because before you, I didn't really look at them. Or
to me, they're classic, they're traditional, they're wonderful.
I agree, and so that kind of gives you the lay of the land here. And I would say that my favorite standout is this modernist brutalist opal mosaic in 14 karat gold. And look how it looks like the sea, and then this ocean wave, and this opening up of that gold mounting. Very much so like Andrew Grima's work. So if you're not familiar, definitely look him up. Look at the way that texture is just so amazing. That sensitivity of that artist, and then to texture the prongs so they didn't look out of place. That has so much going for it, and I think that's why. Oh, and of course the aquamarine, aquamarine and diamond. That's and right. when she bought this with me, I had said to her, I think it's an aqua, and that might be a diamond. And guess what? It is a massive aqua, and it's a magnificent diamond. Oh, just incredible. And that was. I have to say that I think that's why you were my biggest blessing early on, because you did help so much. And like when but see, I knew I would know that we were okay to do this, and now look at what we have for free that we didn't really pay anything for.
And Jason was in this tiniest little apartment
I was.
You could ever imagine.
Yeah,
it
that was
an efficiency suite.
One of my happiest times is when I had nothing to my name, you know, when I had a milk crate, an alarm clock, and a futon.
And you curb shopped for this furniture.
I curb shopped for my first apartment. I absolutely furnished that first apartment. Me and Jody, we had our map of everywhere we would go, and we would get everything off the curb for free. So those were the days. So, the collections I've bought. The more I think about it, the more I think back to buying things.
That was the start.
Yeah, buying things before they were in vogue, and buying things before it was a fad, and then staying with it until after it was a fad. I've often said that I didn't follow what other people were buying just because, I don't want to say I knew better, but my instinct was don't follow everybody else. And Dad taught me to be a leader and not a follower in everything that I did, in high school, and he constantly supported me in all of that. Do you still wear this one? The moissanite? Do you still wear it? One of the most beautiful moissanite stones, and it's a very early one. Scintillation on that is extraordinary. I think it's, did we figure that out? It's just over 2 carats.
Yeah, but what's interesting about that one is that it's in 14 karat.
Yeah, 14 karat. And I love that crown style, the crown style prongs on there. Sorry I can't get any closer on that, but look at the gold chain. Very silk-like, very beautiful. I do still love moissanite.
So remember, everybody, these things can be found.
Yeah, I guess that's true, because I still tell her, like, we talk every day. I don't think there's been a day that's gone by that we haven't spoken ever. Right. And I don't want to ever know a day without you. And I will say that when I go to the flea markets, and then I call you on the way home, and I'm like, guess what I found? I found this, I found this, I found this. And then I think over the last at least several years, even with the ebb and flow of values, it's never altered my course. I've never allowed like, oh, this doesn't sell well now. I've never let that dictate to me what I'm going to buy, what I'm going to spend, and what I'm going to sell things for. I just haven't, but I think that's my advantage, because years ago when the McCoy Jardinier would sell for $85 at an auction, I would look at the person next to me like, why did that sell for $85? And they would be like, well, why do you think that's wrong? And I would say, I don't think that's worth $85. I think that's more common than that. I think it should only be $25, $35. And now those things are selling for $25, $35, but I knew it 20 years ago. I felt that 20 years ago. But on the flip side, fine art and the sensitivity of custom-made pieces, or if they are mass-produced like this, more distinctive or unusual designs, then that way I would know the value is there. I would just realize that.
But I don't think people realize one other thing. It's called research. Your library is gigantic, and you constantly research and you constantly learn. You just don't stay stagnant. And I think that's what the course kind of brought you along. You don't stay in just one little
Agreed.
genre. You move along. You know.
Agreed. And I've often said, like, I think why when Dad first said, "Oh, you'll be dealing in diamonds and gold someday," I think why I got like, I didn't get angry at that, but I was like, I felt that I couldn't. And I think if you tell yourself you can't do something, then you're never going to do it. I think if you tell yourself you can and you live like there's no limit to anything in your life, I think you most certainly can push past any obstacle. I mean, if I would have thought about that, I would have said, no, I'm only going to ever be able to afford this and sell it for this. And then I look at myself now and I think, there's not anything I leave out. There's really not. It's amazing to think that in my very short 30 years in the business, which is a short 30 years, there's people in the business that have been antique dealers for 60 years. And I'm glad I kept my mouth shut and my ears open and I listened to them. Boy, it's sometimes tough when someone will say to me occasionally, like they'll say something about something and I'll go, no, that's not right. And I don't say anything. And then, a few months later, I'm like, wow, they're right. I still learn every day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't learn something, that's for sure. So I learned my limits last week. I learned my personal limits last week. But that's great that we can acknowledge stuff about ourselves in this thing we call reselling. It's just one of the most remarkable things I could ever say. And it's really interesting to now look back and say, remember when I was 20? So, yeah.
Well, I think another thing, and your father would always say this, because this was on the wall of the company where he walked in. I won't name the company, but anyway, it says the possibility is immense. Stop and think about that. That was just part of the saying. So the possibility is immense. It's what you do with it. And you just keep pushing it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's what you need to do.
I think we're going to call it, because do you have anything else you wanted to say? Do you want to say anything to the viewers and the family, the extended YouTube family?
I just want to say, I love that it's called a family. It's very different than just being a friend.
Yeah.
Families have tight bonds.
And differences, but at the end of the day, you still love each other. There's still that bond no matter what happens. So, interesting that you would bring that up. Well, this is probably one of my favorite videos in a year and a half.
Thank you.
Because I actually got to sit with you and, I don't know, just this felt right.
I think sometimes we're always running, but Jason has changed format this past week, which I told him kind of like, quite a few people told him he needs to start making time for the close friends that have been around him, which he has. He's gone to dinner with people. He's, I can't even think of how much you've done.
Well,
that's where it's fun.
Last Saturday I went to that party and I got to see a lot of my college friends that I hadn't seen for a very long time. I had one of the best nights in over like 2 years. I just was amazed. And a special shout out to, you all know who you are, but especially Jen and Alan and Chad and Jason and Tina. I can't forget Tina. I had seen you many years ago with my friend Karen in Cleveland at an art opening, and we went to dinner together, and I had forgotten that experience until you talked with me, and what a refreshing memory that was. And I said, was I as much of a jerk back then as I am now? And she said, pretty much. So Tina, thank you for being a friend, even though I had lost touch with you. I really appreciate that very much. So I think that's it. I think we're gonna call it. Guess what time it is? Well, I know what time it is. It's 5:30.
It's 5:30.
But do you know what time it is? Yeah.
We're gonna make sweet corn.
We're gonna make sweet corn again.
We went to the farm today.
We did. We went to the farm, and the only thing we've thought about all day is sweet corn. Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna go make corn together. I just want to say thanks from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, everybody. It's good to be back on to talk a little bit and share a little bit of his background. I don't think people know enough about his background.
Thank you.
As to
this was supposed to be about your collection.
Where he's going. No, but
so
I'm glad that
this was supposed to be about your collection, and this is only a little bit of what she has. But look at the elegance in which she. You have a very You have a very distinct style, and I really have always loved watching you enjoy these pieces and your progression from more delicate to more bold. So let me see your hands.
Okay,
All right,
everybody.
everyone.
Ready?
We love you because we do.
Bye.
Bye.